Well, I'd like to share with you some of the reasons I've come to like and work with Connie de Groot. I recently listed my home for sale with her, and after meeting with several different realtors who work this area and being in real estate myself now for many years, I've gotten to know a lot of professionals in our industry, and I've yet to meet somebody that shines so brightly as Connie de Groot does. And specifically, this showed up for me the first night we met, and she came to my home. I'll never forget, I found her on the internet because she had sold my neighbor's home, and I had forgotten what was Connie's name and phone number. And I did a Google search, and there was the old listing, and I called her, and we got to meet that same day. And I was really nervous about what it would feel like to sell my home. And what stood out for me the best is that, well, Connie sat down with me at my table. We talked about different things in the marketplace. She even shared with me what the market meant and some of the special opportunities that existed that I myself had not even thought about, and that was really relating to who competition is. As a seller, don't we need to know that? Who are we selling against? And gosh, Connie had all of this data spread out. We had it right here on the table, and she took the time to make each one of those pieces of paper make sense. And so it wasn't just looking at data and raw numbers, but yet instead it was the story about what this means and what does this house offer that my house might not, and vice versa. How might a seller look at that? But that's not where the comforting really got the chance to strong highlight. Instead, it was when Connie told me. She goes, "Scott, I won't ever pressure a seller to sell. I'm here to work with you and to support you if selling is what you'd like to do. And we'll do it really well." And what stood out for me is that Connie said, "Scott, I'll write in the listing agreement that you can cancel, even if we get an offer for selling your home, if what you want is no longer to sell your property. We're going to do what feels right for you." And just because Connie shared that with me, I met with several other realtors. Not once does somebody allow me to feel that comfortable and that safe. And I knew in that moment that this was the right choice for me to make. And that was our beginning. And that was on the time that I was looking to figure out if I even wanted to sell, what does the market look like? And the confidence that I was able to feel through Connie's visit that night stood with me. And Connie didn't let me go yet. She made sure to stay in contact with me. We had met, and now we're here meeting right now, doing some of the paperwork as she's helping me get the house sale ready. But what she did that day and several days thereafter following was keep me updated on the market. She even reached out the next morning just to reach out and say good morning, and really shared an exchange of what the visit was like for her, and just to reach out and say hi. And even that made me feel welcomed and made me know that this made sense for me. If I was going to make the choice of selling, it could only be with Connie de Groot. And several emails after, weeks later, the communication stayed open and available, and it didn't need me to do anything. It completely came directly from Connie. And so I, through her reaching out and my confidence in believing this was the best timing for me, I signed my listing agreement with Connie. And I've got to share with you, so not only is the initial moment, sometimes in sales or in other things, people shine their brightest in the moment of accessing that sale, right? We sign the contract and now we're in. And sometimes the after part doesn't always feel as fresh as that beginning part. But not with Connie. Instead, it just continues to get brighter. And what I really mean from this, so Connie takes a tour through my home. We're getting it ready for photographing and getting it prepared to make the right impression as our first impression. And she made sure that we weren't left alone. Connie brought her own talent over here. She brought a designer. And we walked through the home, and Connie came in and spent hours with me along with her designer, and we took what I already had and reshifted everything. And we've added some plants and some minor additional warming pieces, but the house feels completely different. And it's amazing how design helps to sell a home, and the fact that Connie knew that. And it was so funny because I couldn't even believe some of the emotions that would show up for me during that process, and they did. And one in particular shines out for me the best, and it was in my bedroom dealing with a piece of picture and the furniture. And And my immediate response was, no, you can't take my memory away. And what are we doing? And I got all nervous about everything. And Connie made sure that I wasn't stuck feeling that emotion. And instead, she made sure we paused. And she took the time to explain to me the importance of what it means if we were to leave it as is versus if we were to remove it and create this minor change. And what that minor change might invite to the potential buyer. And the importance of a bedroom right off of a master bathroom suite like I have in my home, that it remains relaxing. And that the sensation and the subtleness of that will stand out for that buyer. And another thing that stood really brightly for me is I've got this really large bedroom. And in my bedroom I've had this space that I've just kept open because honestly I didn't know what to put in it. And now it's just been open. And Connie taught me that an empty space is forgettable space. And we don't dare ever leave a room empty or leave a buyer to try to figure out what they're going to do with the space. And that's even after our time of signing the listing agreement itself. The professionalism, the comfort, the confidence, and her abilities shine so brightly. I'm in the absolutely right place, and I don't feel like I'm alone through any of this process. I have a friend. So I can't imagine anybody wanting to work with any real estate professional other than Connie de Groot. She's that special.